welcome back to Houston, Texas, Radio Row. A real miss here. Probably should have been playing some Grateful Dead coming back.
Quite all right. I want to work on Maggie's farm. Yeah, let's go. Maggie, Andrew, great to be back with you guys. And what a pleasure and privilege for me, because CBS, that's where I got my start in broadcasting. It was Billy Packer, was all the guys back in 1990 that gave me a chance. And the lessons of life that I learned, the relationships that I learned, having read David Halberstam's The Powers That Be and Bill Paley and all the guys and Edward R. Murrow, and just the foundational background that has given me the life that I have. And now to be on your show, wow, I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
Bill, that's so much pressure. Edward R. Murrow.
Yeah. Can we lower the... By the way, this is Bill Walton.
No, you want to have pressure. I'm Bill. I'm from San Diego, and I'm the luckiest guy in the world, and I'm at the Final Four, and what could be better? It's so nice here. For those of you who aren't here, you're making a huge mistake, because Houston is just like Hawaii right now. The weather is just wonderful. It's just warm, a little bit of sweat on your body all the time. No jackets necessary at all. Just a fabulous atmosphere and culture and experience. And I woke up this morning. I got in late last night, and please, I watched on Prime last night on the plane coming in. I watched the new Reggie Jackson movie. Just highly recommend that. Spectacular Reggie, the best of humanity, challenging the worst of humanity. It's really a special show. But I wake up this morning and I'm just dreaming about the Final Four and how spectacular this all is. And outside my window there's a big banner that says, "Come ready to play." Yeah. And that's what we need right now.
Bill Walton is on our set. He's our guest, and we're so lucky we get to talk with you, sir. So you just mentioned
I'm the lucky one, Maggie.
About pressure. Yep. And I'm curious, through all of your life and career, when is the time you felt the most pressure?
I was taught to learn to love pressure and to want pressure. I had the greatest coaches. I've had the greatest life. I've had every opportunity in the world. Every single coach that I had from the very beginning, 1960, when I was 8 years old. I'm now 70. And so every coach I had was a disciple of John Wooden and Chick Hearn. And so that sense of being the champion, what Coach Wooden, what he ultimately taught us how to do, he taught us how to learn, he taught us how to think, but he also taught us how to think like champions, act like champions, and to become champions. So every coach that I had coming up, that's what they were drilling into me. Bill, you know, this is what you need to become to be the champion. And so to learn to embrace the challenge and the ultimate stage, and to want that light shining on you. That was me as a basketball player. That was the exact opposite of me as a human being, because while basketball was the easiest part of my life, academics second, straight A student the whole way through, my challenge is orthopedic health. I've spent half my life, adult life, in the hospital. I've had 39 orthopedic operations. But my greatest challenge is the fact that I'm a lifelong stutterer. And when I was growing up, I did not know how to play in the game of life. Once I got to the NBA, I couldn't play because I was always hurt with broken feet that they couldn't figure out. They didn't believe that I was injured. But then the worst of all was that I couldn't express myself. I couldn't talk. And so when I see Reggie Jackson just deliver magnificently on this movie, when I see you guys and what you do, when I see Greg Gumbel, one of my longtime broadcast partners, and when I see all the different guys on the show and on the set just doing a magnificent job, and to think that, hey man, I was part of that. I'm the luckiest guy in the world. But pressure, you have to train yourself, teach yourself to want that respect, and you have to want that pressure, want that burden. And Red Auerbach would always say, if you think you're nervous, just think how nervous the other guys are. And our job as Celtics are to make those guys crumble under the pressure, because we as Celtics, we come and we embrace love and just want that pressure on us all the time. It's harder. It's harder to win as the favorite, and that's what's going to make it very difficult and challenging for UConn. But they come in as heavy favorites, and really a lot of players, a lot of great things going on for UConn. But the other teams, they're excellent too, and they've shown that they know how to win the games, and that's what this is about. This is not about individuals. This is about coming together as a team. And I mean, when you look at Dusty May at Florida Atlantic, How many guys do you know named Dusty? I mean,
I have one.
We were with him last night.
Yeah.
It's just so random you'd say that.
So, I mean, anybody that's named Dusty, I want to be on his team. But, Florida Atlantic, they're deep, they're athletic, they're versatile, they're interchangeable parts out there. They play 9 guys, and they shoot tons of threes all the time, and they got Janelle Davis, who wins ball games. But my favorite guy on that team, on Florida Atlantic, is Elijah Martin. And this is how he's not number 1 on the NFL draft list. I cannot figure out, man. What an absolute specimen. But they got so many guys. And Golden in the middle does a very nice job. But they're going up against the San Diego State team that is deep. And San Diego State, that's my hometown. And our family home, a mile away from San Diego State. My mom went to San Diego State, class of 1947. Our youngest son, Chris, went to San Diego State. He was the team captain for Steve Fisher's first team, and then he met his college sweetheart, ultimately his wife, Gina. They're coming here. She was the captain of the women's soccer team, so they're flying in right now as we speak. We're going to the dinners tonight, the Naismith dinner, the Hall of Fame dinner, so it's all going to be great, and then a whole weekend of activities. This is the place to be, and it's just, I love this weather, where you just, no jackets, you're never shivering. It's been cold and wet all winter long in California. We need it.
Yeah.
We need it, but it's good to warm up a little bit here.
We're talking to Bill Walton. I have to admit, I'm from Philly. And
you hate me then.
I hate. Well, you had to bring up the Celtics.
It's fine, Andrew.
And Dr. J, you took his chance at an early title.
So Dr. J's in the Reggie Jackson movie.
Yeah, well, he's from Philadelphia as well. My father's from Cheltenham, where Reggie's from.
Yeah.
I saw it. It's very powerful.
You saw the movie?
I saw it. It's much bigger than Reggie's story.
Right.
It's about integration in baseball and what he had to go through.
It's the challenges in life. It was very similar to the Bill Russell movie that just came out on Netflix, and so it's just powerful in the way that Reggie just lays it out, and the fear he had because he was only able to speak in the movie. Somebody else was making the movie, and that's always a big risk and a big chance that he took, but it was fantastic.
Well, you obviously were a prominent athlete in the period they're talking about, the 70s.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think people understand now, our audience, younger people, how challenging it was to be a politically active athlete back in the 1970s.
Life is always challenging and will always be. And that's part of the pressure and embracing the responsibility of being out there on stage. And so, it's never easy. Andrew, as soon as you find something easy, just give me a call, okay? Because I haven't found it yet, and I'm 70 years old, but then again, I'm just getting started.
Well, if you were playing now, would you get NIL and do all the things that the players are doing nowadays?
The pros get NIL, so why not the college players?
Yeah.
And I'm for anything that helps the players. And it's going to help players stay in college longer, which is good. It'll be good for all levels of basketball because the NIL guys, they'll be making more money than the international players. They'll be making more money than the G League players. And all of them, every one of them, they all think they're going to the NBA. Every one of them. Yeah. But there's only 450 jobs in the NBA. And not every one of those jobs turns over every year. LeBron, what is he in his 20th year, 18th year? I'm not sure. And, all the Steph Curry and all these legendary players who play for a really long time. So there's maybe, 40 new jobs every year in the NBA, and because these are the world's greatest everything.
Bill Walton is here on our set. LeBron says he wants to play with Bronny.
Yeah.
Did it ever cross your mind to play with Luke? Luke had a really nice NBA career.
I'm the proudest and luckiest dad in the world, and the Cavs, they've got a big game tonight.
Yeah, he's assistant there.
New York at Cleveland. That's currently 4-5 in the Eastern Conference. Looks like there's just a handful of games left in the NBA, and Cleveland should be able to hold on and get home court advantage. But more important than home court advantage is health, and health has not been kind to the Cleveland Cavaliers this year. But
now Julius Randle's out too.
He's out now? Oh, yeah. So Luke coached Julius Randle on the Lakers.
Yeah, right. He was a draft pick.
And I love Julius Randle. And I don't know if you guys are from New York, if you follow the Knicks, but the Knicks at the Celtics on a Sunday night just a month or so ago when Jalen Brunson couldn't play and Emmanuel quickly hit the three-pointer on the opening tap in one of the great games. It went to overtime, maybe double overtime. It was fantastic. Yeah, and I just really hope that the Knicks do well, but not so well that they beat the Cleveland Cavaliers.
There you go.
But with Luke, I haven't been able to play basketball for 37 years now. And so as they were growing up, I tried to play a little bit with them when I still had my ankle fusions and things like that, but I couldn't move or anything. But as soon as they started elbowing back, then I said, I'm out of here. Yeah.
Bill Walton, thank you so much
Maggie,
for stopping
I want to
by.
be on your farm. Yeah. Andrew, thanks so much.
Thank you.
It is our pleasure, Bill. Thank you.
I'm the luckiest guy in the world, and I want to thank CBS for just doing a remarkable job and making so many dreams come true, because that's what this is about here. You know, to see these young people building their lives and so much hope. And, you know, the challenge in this tournament is going to be for the underdogs, Florida Atlantic and Miami, to find a way to beat a team that's physically superior to them. But that's what makes basketball the greatest game ever. And I'm the luckiest guy in the world to be a part of this.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Bill. And Bill has a documentary coming out about his life, too, which is really interesting. I know you got to go, but we'll talk about it another time.
Thanks for having me.
We're excited
Maggie
to
and
watch
Andrew,
it.
CBS Sports Radio. Yeah, where dreams become reality, where we come to grow, and where the deal goes down. Thank you, Greg Gumbel. Thank you, Bill Paley. Thank you, Edward R. Murrow. Yeah, here we go.
I love it. It's the only time I think we've ever even been in the neighborhood of Edward R. Murrow and Bill Paley with Bill Walton. Fantastic stuff.